If you do your tapping on a mill, you can prevent tap breakage, especially when using small taps, by using a device like this one or like that one. This one handles the taps that have the hole in the end, and this one handles the taps that have a point on the end. Now, to show you what I mean, we'll take this tap here, for which we'll need the one where it can fit inside. Put that in the chuck. Now, tap wrenches like this, when we insert the tap in, the tap doesn't stick through far enough, if you can see here, to actually use the device we have in the chuck. So what I've done is come up with some of these, and they allow the tap to go right through. So we've already got the hole drilled, and we bring this down and it's spring loaded, and we can proceed to tap from that point. So let me show you what it looks like inside of one of these little guys. Okay, here's the main body. We have a hole drilled in here and a set screw on the side here. I have a small spring which I'm going to drop right into that hole, and here's the end. Now the tap fits in this end, and this goes down inside, and there is a milled slot in here so that you can push it down inside, lock up on the set screw, and it then will only compress down and won't fall out. So if you make one of those up, that will improve your chances of tapping a hole without breaking a tap, especially if you're using a small thin tap. Just in case you're wondering how I got this square hole in here, the end of the tap across the flats on the tap was about 3/16, just under 3/16. So I drilled a 3/16 hole in here, and then I took a square file, and if I had a little bit bigger one I would have used it, but this one worked and just made the hole square. That's not too hard to do. Now if you do have to tap by hand and you can't do it in the mill, it is important to get that tap perpendicular to the surface that your hole is drilled in, and you could use something like a 1, 2, 3 block. Put it on this side, check to see if we're square, and then put it on the back side and see if it's square. If you get the tap square, chances of breaking a tap are way less than if you had been a little bit crooked. Now when you're tapping on the lathe, you got your part, you've drilled the hole in the end for the right size for the tap you want, and the plan is to put the tap in the chuck and then push the chuck up to, push the tailstock up to the chuck and then turn the chuck to get that tap going. And in most cases what happens here is the tap slips in the chuck. So I've made up several of these things. This is a larger one. Just by slotting here and here on a piece that I had put threads on, and putting this end not round but hexagonal, and then the other threaded piece goes right on here, and as we tighten that up it locks up with the 4 jaws on the tap so the tap doesn't slip. Now I have a smaller one of these in the chuck right now, and all I need to do is slide that right up, tap goes right into the hole there, and then I don't lock this. I leave this loose so the tailstock can move. Then I apply a little bit of pressure with my hand on the tailstock and start turning the chuck slowly, and the tap gets started. Sometimes you get away with going all the way to the bottom of that hole depending on how easy it is to get it going, and sometimes you have to disengage here and pull your tailstock back, take your part out, then you can put it into the vise, and you can actually tap by hand. But these guys, they work great for non-slippage in the chuck. If you'd like to be notified of other new modifications, please click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.